Um, I read this fucked up statistic on his, and so like YSL or Young Stoner Life is his label, and he was not only a popular, or he is a popular rapper, mainstream rapper, but he was also using his music label as a front to run violent crime and drugs throughout Atlanta. And apparently, wait, this was what astounded me. It was 70 to 80% of the crime in Atlanta, the violent crime, was coming from Young Thug's fucking gang. Which is completely and utterly hilarious and just ridiculous, right? Like, this is just fucking, just stupid. But, you know, I there's a couple songs I like by Young Thug, you know. I'm older guys, so, you know, it's hard to keep up on all the new guys. But, you know, Young Thug has a couple songs. But let's read through this a little bit and kind of go into some of the details because it's kind of a weird thing that happened. Now, this is in Atlanta, Georgia, where District Attorney Fani Willis, who is very well known for her prosecuting former President Trump on election interference. So Fani Willis has kind of gotten launched into the mainstream, which is actually funny because when I was doing a little bit more research on what was going on with Young Thug, I saw that Fani Willis has been getting death threats or something, and they just prosecuted that person for sending her death threats, which is great because you can't just be fucking sending death threats to the DA. Whether you agree with their politics or not, death threats are necessary, God damn it. Anyways, so let's jump into the article here. So rapper Young Thug is a free man after pleading guilty to gang, drug, and gun charges. So he admits that he was running an organized crime syndicate. I mean, they got him on a RICO charge. So it's insane to think that he could just plead guilty and then he's going to walk off with 15 years probation. So there's more to it. Let's get in there. About 2.5 years after he was arrested on charges in a sprawling gang and racketeering indictment, Young Thug was released from custody Thursday evening. It was a remarkable development in a trial that's dragged on and been plagued by problems. Yeah, I guess that is remarkable. I was stunned. I was stunned because I swear to God, I mean, everybody thought Thug was going down. Like, nobody was like, dude, Thug's coming out of this. Now, there was this whole movement, still is, and I guess they win, is the hashtag free Thug, right? Again, if you're out there murdering and killing and poisoning your community with drugs, I don't know. You should go to prison. And I don't care if you're a rapper or not. You should probably go to prison. But, you know, I've done worse. I've never had an organized criminal syndicate. I've never done worse. Never mind. By the way, this is like my 8th day of a water fast, and my mouth just runs on now. That's why I haven't been streaming, you guys. I've been just fucked. So, getting past a few things here, but overall feeling good. I gotta say, the water fast did help with my depression. So, I gotta say, that's not a bad thing, baby. Jury selection at the Fulton County Courthouse in Atlanta began in January 2023, and it took nearly 10 months. Prosecutors had called dozens of witnesses since opening statements last November in the trial of 6 defendants. It took them so long, like this whole thing. So this is the longest running trial in Atlanta history, which is 70 to 80% of the crime. I can see why they took their time because they were really trying to nail him down just to sort of let him off the hook, kind of. It's wild. It's wild. We already know who Young Thug is. And here's what he's accused of doing. He was originally indicted and arrested on May 9, 2022, and more charges were added in a subsequent indictment. That dog is. We're gonna get through this shit. We're going to do it. The second indictment accused Young Thug and 27 others conspiring to violate Georgia's Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, known as RICO. The rapper was also accused of participation in criminal street gang activity as well as drug and gun charges. Prosecutors alleged that Young Thug and two other people co-founded a violent criminal street gang in 2012 called Young Slime Life or Young Stoner Life. I think he changed it in the trial to say, what was it? It was so stupid. No one bought that shit, which they say is associated with the National Bloods gang. The indictment says Young Thug made YSL a well-known name by referring to it in his songs and on social media. Prosecutors painted him as a gang leader known as King Slime. That's shittiest gang name ever. I'm sorry. Shittiest gang name. And then the leader, the King Slime. Okay. Someone who calls the shots and directs others to engage in criminal activity. Okay, so hopefully they're going to explain this well, because I suck at trying to explain these trial things, but let's see what happens here. Prosecutors had been negotiating with Young Thug's lawyers to try to reach a deal that would end his participation in the long-running trial. But those efforts stalled when the two sides disagreed on conditions. Speaking to reporters after sentencing, Young Thug's attorney Brian Steele declined to discuss the negotiations, but he said prosecutors were pushing for outrageous conditions. They would let him out of custody, but they would have to have a tether around him so tight that it's unconscionable. Hey, Mighty, what's going on, G? Good to see you, my dude. Hold on. Why is it not working? Oh, what's going? This is horse shit. Hold on. I fucking suck. Hold on. I forgot how to use my stuff. Hi, Mighty. Welcome in. Good to see you. I forgot how to use my equipment. So, hey, welcome in. I hope you're doing well, my dude. We're just talking about Young Thug, a convicted criminal who had people murdered and sold drugs into his community, was set free on bail. Not bail, I'm sorry, with a plea deal. So we're kind of going into that right now. So his lawyer basically told the lawyers that they weren't, or told the press that the prosecution was just offering a ridiculous proposition and it's unconscionable, right? Instead, the rapper went forward with a potentially risky, non-negotiated, or blind plea, meaning he was entering pleas without having a deal in place with prosecutors. So they presented the deal to him, which was 45 fucking years, okay? So he would have spent 20 of those years in prison and 25 out on out on probation. So he would have served 25 years if he would have took this deal. That was the best deal that prosecutors were offering Young Thug. And then his lawyer's like, bitch, hold my beer. Fuck that deal. We're going in blind. Literally blind. It's what it's called. It's a blind plea, which is insane. But it was a Hail Mary that fucking landed so hard. I mean, it landed so hard that it almost seems like corruption's involved. So let me see. So he pleaded guilty to 1 gang charge, 3 drug charges, and 2 gun charges. He also entered this is the part that he changed, no contest plea to another gang charge and a racketeering conspiracy charge, meaning that he decided not to contest those charges, but could be punished as if he had pleaded guilty. And he's basically giving the power over to the judge to decide what's going to happen in that case. So he's not contesting the charges. He's just sort of putting it in the judge's hands to decide what's going to happen, which is, again, this is fucking crazy. When you're looking at 45 years, 25 of those, you're locked up in a cage. And then the rest, or 20, I can't remember how they split it. But either way, that's fucking insane. Ugh. I've been to jail. I know what jail is. I've never been to prison, though. Not yet. That was stupid. Will he spend time in prison? No, as long as he abides by the conditions of his sentence. The judge gave him a total sentence of 40 years. The first 5 years were to be served in prison, but that was commuted to time served. Then he has 15 years on probation. Finally, a backloaded 20 years in prison will be commuted to time served if he complies with all the conditions of his probation. If he doesn't complete his probation successfully, he will have to serve those 20 years in fucking prison. Which, honestly, the motherfucker should probably go to prison. Again, 70 to 80% of total violent and drug-related crimes in Atlanta was done at the behest of Young Thug and YSL. 70 to 80 fucking percent, bro. That's a lot. Primordial, I see you there, baby boy. Welcome in. They should just execute him and Diddy. I'm not gonna go that far. Diddy, I'm not a fan of the fucking. I'm just not the biggest fan of executing people, just because I don't like the idea of getting it wrong, right? Because an injustice to one is an injustice to all. But I get it, though. I fucking get the sentiment behind it. It's like, why would we want someone like Diddy running the streets, fucking poisoning the streets, murdering people, attacking people? Why would we want them to even exist or breathe? I get that sentiment. It's just that I don't know, especially Young Thug, I don't know if he deserves such a thing. Diddy, on the other hand, I don't know, man. That's a whole nother thing. Like, he was doing dirt. I mean, his family, Diddy's family is investigating him. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Not Diddy's family. Tupac's family is investigating Diddy right now for a suspicion of having Tupac murdered. So we might be talking about Diddy having people murdered. I mean, we're definitely talking about like a serial rapist and pedophile, right? We're definitely talking about that. What state was that? I think it's Tennessee, where they fucking execute pedophiles now. They're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're done with it. You're out. You're out, bitch. Which, again, I have a little bit of a problem with that, just because I don't like the idea of getting it wrong, even if like it's beyond factual, because there's so many every year, and so many people who are sitting on death row right now who are completely innocent and maybe got a bad rap, had a bad lawyer, fucking had some, there's tons of different reasons. And there's organizations that go around trying to get people off death row because of that one thing that happens sometimes, right? It happens once in a while, but that's once too many, I believe, personally. But hey, Tennessee, bitch. Don't fuck with Tennessee right now. Yeah. Well, lube companies stand to lose a lot of it. I agree. Fucking Johnson & Johnson baby oil took a dive in the stock markets, y'all. And GHB. Unfortunate, huh? So, Young Thug here is on 15-year probation, and if he fucks up, he's back in prison 20 years, no questions asked, and that's probably the best thing. But whatever, the justice system is the justice system. I guess we have to deal with it for now. Prosecutors want Young Thug sentenced to 45 fucking years, with 25 years in prison and the remaining 20 on probation. The charges against him carried a potential maximum sentence of 120 years in prison, prosecutor Adrian Love said. Steele, his lawyer, Young Thug's lawyer, had asked the judge for a 45-year sentence. Oh, no, that's the prosecutor. Is that the prosecutor? With 5 in prison, community time served, and 40 years on probation. Oh God. Okay, so that was part of. So I think that was the prosecution. I'm kidding about the death penalty, but sentence they handed down cost taxpayers. I look again, primordial. I'm not even like. I'm not judging you. I'm not mad about it. It's not some conviction that I hold so dear to my heart that I'll fucking start, throwing paint on your house because you made me mad and we disagree. No, it's nothing like that. It's literally like, it's just my own personal belief. And obviously the death penalty is still happening and it's still going, so I'm just one guy who just finds it immoral, but that's okay. I see it. Like, I can see why people, look, it's just, if fucking Diddy raped any of my children, I would personally fucking execute him, right? So, like, I get the fucking sentiment, right? Because if this was your children who Diddy was molesting and raping at these god-awful Diddy parties, you would want some kind of justice that involves at least castration, man. I mean, at least fucking castration or like some horrible thing, right? And if you're the parent of those children, you want that person dead. So I can see a world where people need to die, but it would have to affect me directly. Who needs to die? Naders! What's up, Taters? Good to see you, my brother. Well, we were just having a little discussion with Primordial about the morality of the death penalty, whereas I feel like one injustice where someone dies unnecessarily is an injustice for everybody. But I also see the other side, whereas like fucking if my child were, harmed by Diddy or by anybody, I would certainly go and fucking fuck them up until they're dead. Like they would die, right? Like they're dead. That's what it is. It's just like a switch that flips. It's like, oh, you harmed my child in such a way, now it's death, right? So that's why I see it. But I think as a policy that's implemented across the nation, in certain states, of course, because there's some states that don't have the death penalty. But, I find it problematic when you get when there's more than a few people who die every year wrongly by, state execution. So I don't know. It's a weird situation because if it's happened directly to me, I would definitely find a way to fucking murder that person. But whatever. I don't want to murder anybody. Honestly, that sounds horrible. I'm asking for a friend. All humans need to die. Well, I mean, that's where it goes. I mean, eventually, right? Sit on Bruce sideways. The only thing we have in common is death. Yeah. Hey. There you go. Wasn't there some wild ex part stuff that went into the Young Thug trial? I saw a clip about it. His lawyer got a contempt charge. Yes, there was. No, dude, the whole trial has been wild, dude. Like, Young Thug was trying to pass out drugs. There was like people passing out on the fucking stand. Like just crazy shit happening all the time. And you're right, there was I forgot about, there's just so much shit that happened. Young Thug lawyer jail. Yeah, he went right to jail. Young Thug released charges. No, Young Thug lawyer Brian Steele. I thought he went to jail, right? Brian Steele. Why is Brian Steele in jail? Steele was held in contempt in order to serve time in jail after confronting the former judge in the trial over the ex parte. How do you say that? Ex parte? What is? I don't know. It's like conversation with the witness. Yes. See, I forgot all about these fucking details. There's just so many things that happened. The high court found that Steele's contempt hearing should have been heard by another judge, causing the reversal. Okay. Oh, our ex parte. I see. Yeah, because there was a conversation and I forgot what it is. Hold on. Let's just read what it is because I'm like interested. Now my fucking ADHD has been peaked. Gotcha. Thank you, Primordial. It means without one party. The Georgia Supreme Court has reversed the order of contempt against Young Thug's attorney. On June 10th, Steele was held in contempt by Judge Ural Glanville after he refused to divulge a source who told him about an ex parte conversation that took place before court that day. The conversation, which involved the judge, prosecutors, and witnesses Kenneth Lil Woody Copeland, repeatedly included Copeland's admission to killing Donovan Nutt Thomas Jr. Glanville ordered Steele from court. After a break, Steele was allowed to return to the courtroom but continued to refuse to discuss his source. Glanville then held Steele in criminal contempt and ordered him to be held at the Fulton County Jail for no more than 20 days. After Steele and other defense attorneys in the case asked a judge to recuse Glanville over the meeting, Fulton County Superior Judge Rachel Krause granted their motion, eventually assigning the case. Okay, so that I remember covering this a little bit because this was another thing where it's like, yo, throw this fucking shit out because they're sort of conspiring and sort of and Young Thug's lawyer should have been there, right? Is that what I'm getting? Am I fucking just retarded? I know I'm retarded. I am retarded. That's true. Listen. This is my 7th or 8th day of a water fast, guys. So bear with me. Yeah, because it seemed like either the attorney or the judge would catch shit for that. Yeah, it sounds like someone should get fired. Yeah, and Naders, you know who's the prosecutor down here, right? Fucking Big Fannie Willis. Pew, 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 pew. Your girl, Fannie Willis. All right, I'll stop. Ex parte typically not allowed because it prejudices the side who is not involved. The defense can't object or cross-examine. Primordial coming in over here with the fucking knowledge. Thank you. Thank you so much. We needed that shit. Money does miracles. Facts. Facts, mighty, mighty. Facts. Mighty, mighty knows. Mighty, mighty knows. Okay, where were we? We were back over here somewhere. Oh, yeah. In this case, it's the defense. Thank you very much. That's good to know. What did he say to the judge before sentencing? He apologized to his family. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is what happened before the sentencing, and let's just pull this up. Now, I think his remarks are just so ridiculous. Like, I'm just blown away by what he says. But let's listen to Young Thug say his shit before sentencing. Okay, well, as soon as it decides to fucking buffer, we'll hear what he's doing over there right now. What the fuck, bro? What in the gosh darn? All right, we're going out. We'll go over here. Here we go.
Hi, Mr. Williams. Is there anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
He's okay. He's okay. He has some songs that are okay, but he's not my favorite. He's not the best rapper, I think. But whatever.
I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names,
But
my managers, my kids that's not here. Really, everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time investing into this, and I am a smart guy. I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad, and it don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, fall on you.
okay, so what we saw here is that he just apologized for all the bad things he did and then displaced blame on the people he surrounded himself by, saying that he's a good dude with a good heart who has people killed and poisons his community and causes 70 to 80% of the violent crime and drug and violent crime in Atlanta. He's a good dude with a good heart. And sometimes, I'm just too nice. I'm just too cool. He's like Michael Scott. What's your greatest weakness? Well, some people say I work too hard. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Some people just say I'm just too nice. I'm too cool. I'm just too cool. And sometimes you get taken advantage of. And at a certain point in your career, you can't just let that keep going. You can't let these people take advantage of me. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've been exposed. So was he a good crime boss or a rapper first? I think it all coincided with itself. I think it's like he probably started out selling drugs and rapping, right? And then rapping about selling drugs, and then that was his whole career. And then it just kept going. As he accumulated more power in the streets, he accumulated more name for himself. And I think he got a feature on somebody's song, and that went up, and that got popular. I can't remember the details. I've went over all this shit before. It's just been so long. Kill him with God. Imagine Kamala on the jury back in her day. Oh, God. When we were burdened by what has been, and what has been a burden. Young Thug is a thug. He is also young, but a thug he is. He didn't fall from a coconut tree, and he is unburdened by what has been. The smell of death holds weight. Yeah, it does. Let me tell you that.
And
Let's hear what he said.
I know the choice is yours. It's up to you. And I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a bar in the future or something. Just
a bar in the future?
Situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this.
Why are you at a bar, bitch? You're going to be on probation. Your ass doesn't need to be in the bar. And look at these fucking cops back here laughing. They're like, oh, shit, this guy.
Type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. I come from nothing, and I've made something, and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me, because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides. I'm sorry to the sheriff, everybody, for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family.
Oh, forever the entertainer he is.
And I just hope that you find it in your heart to.
Why did he sound like a child? He sounded like a fucking child. Like, I'm sorry, I took the cookies. I'm sorry, I didn't eat it. I took the cookies. Okay. Anyways, so congratulations, Young Thug. He beat the system. I mean, if that's not an American story, I don't know what is, friends. I mean, a dude who came from nothing, made something of himself, poisoned and murdered people in his own community, 70 to 80% in Atlanta, which is a very big city. And he gets to go home. 15 years probation. And if he fucks up, back for 20 years. So, I mean, I'm not... The criminal-minded side of me is just like, yeah, bitch, yeah, bitch, yeah, bitch. But, like, the more adult and mature and, like, father and, husband and community member is like, fuck, dude, you just fucked everything up. You're letting him back out? Fuck. Where's my wood chipper? Anyways,